Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are diving into something that is literally going to bend the way you perceive reality. We're looking at an absolute masterpiece of 10th century Buddhist metaphysics, specifically Volume 13 of the Zongjing Lu, which was compiled by Master Yen Shou. This isn't just some dusty historical document. It's a profound blueprint for understanding the cosmos and our exact place within it. It's serene, it's incredibly deep, and for sure it is going to challenge everything you think you know about space, time, and existence itself.
I mean, can a single grain of dust really contain the entire universe? It sounds completely impossible, right? We are so used to feeling incredibly small in this vast, cold, ever-expanding cosmos. But this ancient text asks us to take that perspective and flip it completely upside down. It proposes that the microscopic and the macroscopic are not just connected, but they are exactly the same thing. To wrap our heads around how that could possibly be true, we need to unpack the actual mechanics of this philosophical system.
So here is our roadmap for making sense of this incredibly dense holographic landscape today. First, principle and phenomena, then the 10 gates of interpenetration, the math of the one and the many, why all is Buddha Dharma, and finally, wisdom revealing the mind. Let's get right into it.
All right, Section 1, Principle and Phenomena Explained.
Think of our experience of reality as split into two distinct halves that are, well, actually just one. On one hand, we have principle, or Li. Think of principle as the ultimate, unchangeable reality, the foundational emptiness or truth that underlies absolutely everything. Then, on the other hand, we have phenomena, or Shi. These are the observable things, the everyday objects, the physical manifestations we touch, see, and interact with every single day. The text argues that to truly see reality for what it is, you simply cannot separate the two.
Master Yen Shou hits the nail on the head with this metaphor. He says, like gold casting the 10 Dharma realm statues. Each statue in its entirety is gold. Think about that for a second. The gold, that's the principle, the unchanging substance. The statues are the phenomena, the various temporary shapes and forms. Whether the gold is shaped like a beautiful, serene Buddha or a terrifying demon, its underlying essence hasn't changed at all. It is all still just gold. The observable thing and the ultimate reality are perfectly and seamlessly unified.
Moving right along to Section 2, the 10 gates of interpenetration.
So the crucial takeaway here is that things in this universe do not exist in a vacuum. These 10 gates can seem pretty complex, but we can really boil them down to three core themes: universality, inclusion, and intersection. Universality basically means everything extends everywhere. Inclusion means one single thing can contain everything else without getting bigger. And intersection means everything interacts without any obstruction whatsoever. It's a universe where boundaries simply do not exist in the rigid way our human minds perceive them. To help us visualize this, Yen Shou gives us this mind-blowing thought experiment. Imagine 9 mirrors entering into one mirror, but at the exact same time, that one single mirror is reflecting back and entering into the 9 mirrors. It is this infinite, beautiful, fractal reflection, 9 into 1, 1 into 9, happening instantly and effortlessly.
He spells it out beautifully in the text, saying, like mirrors and lamps, when entering one lamp, there are many lamps in each mirror, with no before or after. Catch that phrase, no before or after. This infinite reflection doesn't take time to travel from point A to point B. It happens instantly. The moment you place a lamp in a room full of mirrors, the light is just everywhere at once. This isn't just about cool optics. It's a metaphor for your own expansive consciousness and how literally all things in the universe interpenetrate instantaneously.
Okay, on to Section 3, the one and the many. This totally flips our normal, everyday logic on its head. We usually think of 1 and 10 as completely separate concepts, right? But Yen Shou points out that the concept of 1 strictly relies on the concept of 10 to exist. You simply can't have a part without a whole. And on the flip side, 10 relies entirely on the 1. You can't have a whole without its fundamental building blocks. Because they rely so entirely on each other, they are essentially each other. 1 is 10, 10 is 1. The idea of an isolated, totally independent object is just an illusion. Which brings us right back to that wild hook from the beginning. Because 1 is 10, we arrive at this staggering conclusion from the text: 1 grain of dust genuinely contains the boundless Dharma realm. Now, it doesn't mean the dust gets supersized, and it doesn't mean the universe shrinks down.
because every single part of the universe intimately contains the properties and reflections of the whole universe. Just like those mirrors we talked about, the infinite is literally right there, held entirely within a single speck of dust.
That brings us to section 4. All is Buddha Dharma.
Now, this is where the text gets incredibly practical and, honestly, deeply challenging. There's this brilliant line in the source material. Fire burns both fragrant orchids and foul weeds without discrimination. As humans, we're always judging things, right? The orchid is good and the weed is bad. But fire? Fire doesn't care. Fire just burns. It operates entirely without our mundane human judgments. True wisdom, the text argues, operates in exactly the same way.
Which leads us to what Buddha Dharma actually is in this framework. Simply put, absolutely everything is an expression of ultimate wisdom. Every action, whether we humans label it as pure or impure, is just a function of this ultimate truth. If everything is seamlessly interconnected, if the whole universe is in a speck of dust, then even the most ordinary, unglamorous, or frankly foul things in your life are expressions of the ultimate reality. You just can't separate the sacred from the mundane.
Finally, Section 5. Wisdom revealing the mind. This text uses this powerful metaphor for our mental state. First, we have what's called guest dust. That represents our ignorance, our endless wandering thoughts, our daily anxieties. It's called a guest because it is not who you really are, it's just temporarily visiting. Then we have the sun, representing your inherent wisdom. Think about it. The sky is always perfectly clear. It's just sometimes obscured by the dust of your thoughts. The sun doesn't magically create the clear sky. It just reveals what was already there all along. And Master Yan Shao provides a highly practical guide here, not just high-level floating in the clouds theory. Step 1. You have to recognize the guest dust for what it actually is, just temporary ignorance, not your true self. Step 2. Apply wisdom. Basically, shine the sun of your awareness right on those thoughts. And Step 3. Naturally reveal the inherent pure mind. You don't have to build a pure mind from scratch. You just have to stop actively obscuring it. And when you actually do that, something absolutely incredible happens. The text boldly asserts, to truly awaken, cause and effect are simultaneous. Achieving the path and saving beings happens in a single instant. This isn't some far-off goal that is millions of lifetimes away, because time itself is subject to that exact same interpenetration as space. The very moment you truly recognize your inherent mind, you're there. The cause and the effect happen in a single infinite flash. We have covered some immense, mind-bending territory in this explainer today, navigating from the ultimate principle of reality right down to the mechanics of your very own thoughts. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. If a single grain of dust genuinely contains the boundless reality, and if every single thought you have contains the infinite universe, what universe are you creating in your mind right now? Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope this sparks a completely new way of looking at the world around you.